Okay, so I was having a bit of a thought, and I sort of wanted to record this um, about how to hack my brain as an ADHD brain. So I'm just going to show you for a moment what my living room currently looks like, and I'd like to do something about that, but I'm just sort of being slow with the start of my day, and I'm not really motivated, even though I've had my meds and uh, I've had some B vitamins, which can sometimes help. I'm just sort of relaxing, sort of starting my day, and I'm getting to the point where I don't want to just waste the whole day on the couch. But as with most ADHD brains, a big task like cleaning up just feels like such a chore that I don't really want to do. So I'm trying to use a bit of an ADHD hack that I've heard about before, and it's priming your motivation. ADHD brains love to latch on to new ideas. We love to learn about something, and we love learning. Anytime we learn a new thing, it is a big dopamine rush. And I suppose that's with anybody, but ADHD brains a lot more. We are just dopamine addicts. And constantly searching for new things. We love learning things. So the hack is to learn about a thing, and we love latching on to new ideas, and we love then to immediately apply that new knowledge. I sort of like the phrase, a man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? So if you just gave one of us a hammer, we want to hit everything with it. Everything is now a nail. So if I just learned a bit about, say, pottery, I now want to go out and buy a pottery wheel and make a whole bunch of pots, and not realizing that this is actually going to take a while to learn how to do. But there's another thing that goes along with that called deep learning or deep focus, wherein while most people this let me just sidestep back a moment because my thoughts got out of order. So with most people, let's say I want to clean up this living room, right? But that doesn't sound interesting to me. Most neurotypical brains would just go, well, the house needs to be cleaned. Let's go clean the house. And they will get up and go do that. An ADHD brain looks at that and goes, that looks like a big scary task. I do not want to do that. So I'm using this hack with I guess it was in the right order. But in the same sense, a neurotypical brain, if wanting to learn a new skill like pottery, would go, okay, I'll spend a half an hour a day doing pottery, and over time I will learn this skill. And you might say that that is the correct way to do it, but what an ADHD brain will do instead is go, oh my gosh, that looks so cool. I am going to do this and nothing else for the next 3 days. And we maybe not 3 days. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes weeks, right? We love doing that. We'll just latch onto the same thing for days, weeks at a time, and then just never touch it again. But what's interesting is the deep focus, deep learning part of this. Instead of doing 15 minutes a day for like 2 weeks, just small example, we might do 3 to 4 hours in one day. And other people will just be like, how are you still focused on that? I would have lost interest hours ago. And we're just, what? Oh, shoot, it's been 4 hours. I didn't even notice. And we'll just be plugged in and learning and picking up all this new information and diving in really deep and really learning it. Like, not just the fundamentals, we'll get into all the little nitty gritty details and the cool aspects you really only notice when you're more of an advanced learner. And learn all sorts of cool new things about it and get really excited and just keep doing it, and that dopamine rush just carries, and it sort of self-energizes for a while, right up until it uses up all the steam and you realize, oh, I've learned about all I can for today and I'm really tired and I need to go get a snack. Or even you just get interrupted by the snack in the middle of it and you forget all about it, which is another annoying thing that ADHD brains do. Anyway, point is, you can hack your brain as an ADHD person. Now, to a neurotypical person, this might seem like an extra step, um, whereas they can just get up and go do it. ADHD brains, we need to do this extra step in order to motivate ourselves. And so a technique I was taught is by hacking your motivation. So, we love to learn new things. So you learn about a thing. If I want to declutter my house, I have to learn something new about decluttering. So I can watch, let's say, a video or a book that teaches me something about that, and I'm like, oh, cool, that's a new thing. This is great. I've got this dopamine rush, and I want to go immediately apply that knowledge to decluttering the house. Now, the problem, you might look at this and go, okay, well, that'll work the first time. If you're neurotypical and you've been quite astute, you'll notice this. Or if you're ADHD, you'll notice this. That might work the first time. And then what? You can't learn a new thing, the same thing twice, right? You can't learn the same thing new twice, because it's only ever the first time once. And that's true. But it's a bit like movies. Have you ever gone to the movie theater because you heard a lot about this movie, and you go and you see it for the first time with your friends, and it's fantastic. When you went home, did you buy the DVD when it came out? And I'm going to guess that your answer is sometimes yes, sometimes no. Some movies were really good and you just had to go buy it and you watch it over and over and over again. You never get tired of it. There's cult classics like The Princess Bride, V for Vendetta. Those are two of my favorites. Emperor's New Groove. These are great films that I probably shouldn't have name dropped because this was supposed to be a generic video, but whatever. These great films that you just love to watch over and over and over again. You never get tired of it. I'm sure there's a lot more that people could just list ad nauseum. But then there's other films that you saw once and you weren't really sure if you wanted it. Like, it was a good movie, but you didn't really go out and buy it. Or other ones that were just bad and you didn't watch it again. So you can watch this and you can still get that rush the second few times. And so if I want to learn a new thing in order to reinvigorate myself and motivate myself to do this task that I really don't want to do, and I'm procrastinating by doing it by making basically a 10-minute video on it, I need to get that dopamine rush by learning a new thing. Or I can learn the same thing from a really great video or book that I've read before. So this did not take so long when I was thinking about it a moment ago before I decided to make the video, but I guess when you actually nail down your thoughts concretely and in a row, they take longer than when it was just a garbled mess in your head. I don't know if that's normal for everyone else, but I feel like thinking my thoughts in my head takes about 2 minutes, and then articulating them out loud takes about 10 to 20 minutes. And sometimes I come up with an accent that's not even mine, because that's just what my brain wanted to do at that moment. I was born and raised in New Jersey, United States. I have never been to... Where is this from? Australia? New Zealand? I'm not really sure. A bit of a hobby of mine. Ever since I was a kid, I started... I didn't even know the term for this, but I started practicing oral posture by trying to imitate certain characters. I would just imagine that character saying something, and if the way I said it didn't sound exactly like that character, I would sort of morph and twist my mouth a little bit. And I would learn different vowel sounds and whatnot by watching vocal coaches and whatnot. And so I've sort of learned a few oral postures that my mouth just sort of likes the most, that I use whenever I'm thinking to myself. And so this is one of them, and I'm not really sure what region of the world it's from. I think it's vaguely Australian, like vaguely New Zealand, but I've never been there. I've only met a handful of people in my life that are from there. So I don't really know where it's coming from. But anyway, point is, I got to clean up this bloody living room, which is not an Australian thing. That's mostly British. I got to clean up this living room and the rest of the house. That's what I want to do today. And I got to prime my motivation by watching a video or reading a book about it, so I can learn a new thing, even if it's a thing I've already learned before, because it'll be a really good book or a really good video that I really enjoyed. And then I'll have the motivation, when I clearly have the energy, to go do that. And honestly, I think just making this video might have done it, but I'm just going to do a bit more priming, and we'll see how it goes. Hey, thanks for watching and enjoying my little rant.